All right, what's up guys? We're gonna learn some cradling today. It's really important for lacrosse because if I'm just running around with my stick like this, it's gonna get checked out of my hands and then I'm gonna lose the ball. So, what we want to start with, just the basics of cradling. What we do is we put our top hand pretty close to the head of the stick, so right about there. We're gonna take another hand, now everyone knows how to do this, just make an OK sign, all right? And then what we're gonna do is open our fingers, put it on the bottom, so still got that OK sign at the bottom of the stick, and then just as if you're doing a curl. So loose with the bottom hand, OK sign, and then the top hand we're just doing a curl. So just try this is really important. This is the basics of cradling. This is probably the first thing you'll ever learn when you play lacrosse. Really important. Then you could go to your left hand, so same thing, top hand pretty close to the head. Your hand is gripping, and the OK sign at the bottom, and doing a curl, just like that. Pretty simple. It's gonna feel weird at first, but once you get some practice in, it's quite simple and it'll help your game a lot. So, something I like to do when I cradle, I kind of just go one hand, so if you want to try this too, this is kind of just like a sideways curl, back and forth motion, but when you're doing this, you want to make sure you have your arm in front, so you're protecting your stick. We can try left hand on that one too, and that's pretty simple. This is an important part of the game because if you're cradling and they're checking your stick like that, it's going to stay in the head. So when you're making it clear, you're going to have a couple guys on you, but as long as you're cradling, and then once you really get used to it, you can kind of just be loose with it and see if someone was checking me at this point, they probably wouldn't get the ball out. So that's kind of the basics of cradling. Before you start anything, this is what I would say to do first, because cradling is just like the most basic thing in lacrosse. Yeah, so definitely want to practice our cradles. Remember just to run it back one more time. Top hand tight on the top of the stick, bottom hand OK sign, loose, make sure this is loose, and just curling motion. Once you get used to it, you can bring it around. You gotta get in a rhythm. Just takes practice. But once you get that practice down, it'll become a natural habit. I want to add, before we finish this cradling tutorial, what I want you to do is, if you are onto that next level, onto throwing and catching, I want you to combine the two. So I got my pitch back here, you can't see it. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna throw, catch, take a couple cradles, throw, catch, take a couple cradles. And this is gonna be important because they come into contact with each other when you're playing the game. So when I catch it, I definitely want to take a couple cradles, make sure the ball is in my stick, because sometimes people will just catch it, not take a cradle, and they'll get checked out of their stick. So as soon as you catch that ball, take a couple cradles, protect your stick, and go back at the bounce back. Now, one drill you can do, something I like to do, you do 100 each hand with cradles. So you go one, couple cradles, two, couple cradles, three, and on. And then you switch to your left hand. Another thing that's important is when you're throwing and catching, you don't have to be cradling down here like we talked about. You can, but what I like to do is I catch, then I cradle up here. A little fake action, a little 1-2. But yeah, you could just keep it up here. It's the same motion you see making that OK sign with the bottom. My hand is a little lower, but it's just a little sideways curl. And that way, no one's checking this out of my stick. It is Gorilla Glue, right? So, just one more example. Bang, cradle, I'm up here, I'm up here. There it is. All right, guys. All right, so we're just gonna watch this clear here. This is Ohio State goalie. You see how he's protecting his stick. He's moving it away from the defender. That way they can't check him. He's keeping a tight cradle, and he gets the ball down all the way to the end of the field. It's perfect clear.